Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we'll discuss about critical thinking. What is critical thinking and its benefits as well? Critical thinking is a rich concept that has been developing throughout the past 2500 years. The term critical thinking has its deep roots in the mid 20th century. It is self guided, self disciplined thinking which attempts to reason at the highest level of quality in a fair minded way. People who think critically and consistently attempt to live rationally, logically, reasonably, and empathically because this quality, which is if it is produced in the minds of students, in the mind of learners, then it is very good ability because it is very important to live in the society uh, to improve those students, those learners who have critical thinking. Because if there is no critical thinking among the students or among the learners, then we cannot make our students self-disciplined or well-nourished or groomed students. So critical thinking is defined it as an intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation. So, critical thinking includes observation, analysis, experience, personal experience, reflection, intellect, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action. Because before taking an action, a critical thinker, he evaluates something or he analyzes something or he put forth his own personal experience before taking any action. So, critical thinking enables us to analyze and evaluate information. Because if we only gather information, if we only collect data and we don't analyze it or we don't observe it or evaluate it, then we cannot produce the quality or ability of critical thinking in our minds or in our personalities. So it enables us to evaluate and analyze the information to identify justifiable reason or evidence for doing something, that why we are doing something, what we have to do, and what will be done after the analysis of something or after the evaluation of something. If we want to do something, then it focuses on it depends on our critical thinking. And if we don't want to do something, then again critical thinking helps us to do something or to not to do something. So whenever we ask for a reason for any of our actions, we are thinking critically, developing a question attitude. It also relates to the critical thinking, developing the attitude or developing the habit of asking questions. Here I would like to mention that in our classes at school level or at college level, we don't encourage the students to ask questions. If we let them to ask questions, then it will help them to improve their critical thinking and critical attitude. It is very essential for critical thinking, which is self-directed as well as directed towards others, because in society they will direct towards others, and it is a self-directed and self-motivated activity or the habit which students can improve among themselves. And teachers, they can also help them to have or to adopt this habit to improve critical thinking among them. So there are a few benefits of critical thinking. The quality of our life and that of what we produce depends on our thought. Critical thinking helps us to improve the quality and reliability of our thinking process, which is in turn will result in a better way of living. It means that If our thoughts are positive, then our way of living, our social status will be positive. And if our thoughts are not critical, if our thoughts are weak, if our thoughts are not good, then our living way will not be good. There are a few benefits. For example, critical thinking helps us to become a wise person. It gives us intellect. It makes us witty. It makes us wise person. And to come up with a judicious evaluation of events, we can conclude events, we can analyze events, we can experience different events, and we can find the justification of different events which take place in our daily life. And it helps us to develop a sense of intellectual integrity. With the help of critical thinking, it makes us accurate, precise, and clear. We define things in precise manner. We can learn and we can explain different things in clear and candid manner. To develop a relevant, deep, broad, and logical attitude in understanding and handling different situations. So, how to handle different situations? Critical thinking helps us to tackle with different types of situations, and to develop a special strength of mind, liberal and free from biases and prejudices. There are so many examples in our society of prejudice and biases. Critical thinking makes us to remove the concepts of biases and prejudices from our minds. And with the help of critical thinking, we can become a good decision maker. Because if you are not good decision maker, then you cannot survive in this society. We cannot excel in your life. And it makes us to become rational, it makes us intelligent, it makes us intellectual. And we with the help of critical thinking, we can get standards of reflective thinking. It produces reflective thinking. It makes us to think more and more. It helps us to reflect on different things, and to it helps us to identify and to focus on the relevant aspects of an issue. That there is one issue, and it has so many dimensions, it has so many aspects on which we can think, on which we can discuss, on which we can think, and we can elaborate our mind, we can elaborate our thoughts as well. And it helps us to become reasonable. It helps us to act rationally rather than emotionally. It stops our emotion, that all the time we should not apply our emotions, rather rational, rather intellect. And in academic matters, it helps students to learn, evaluate, perceive, comprehend, understand the subject matter in a more judicious way, and in a positive manner. So, students, today we discussed about the critical thinking. As a student, we should improve our critical thinking. We should discuss different things. We should ask questions. We should analyze the subject matter of anything, any text, and we should make dialogues, and we should make ourselves positive in thoughts. So all these abilities can be produced among us, can be can grow with the help of critical thinking. So critical thinking is very much important as a student or as a citizen, wherever in any field you are working. So inshallah, in next video will come with another video. Till then, thank you very much.